There we go, we're off. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Intergalactic Council of Three 19th. Is it 19th? It is our 19th transmission, which is absolutely amazing. Awesome. Yeah. Right. And apologies for a gap of a couple of weeks. I was feeling absolutely lousy. We'll talk about how we've got on the last 2 weeks in a minute. So welcome to Laurie and welcome to Ivan Brownrigg of Avebury Tarot. Welcome back again. How lovely to have you with us. So yeah, why don't we just check in with each other, see what we've been up to. Laurie, how have the last couple of weeks been for you?
Woo! To put it in words, oh my goodness, it's been interesting. It's been definitely delving into some deep soul missions and lots of lots of trauma that's just come up that is seems to be a constant thing, but it just comes up when you least expect it.
Yeah.
And just trying to work with it on a different angle, different level. And it's been something. The energies have been interesting for sure.
I think that's an understatement. Yeah. Yeah. Are you feeling you're making headway?
It depends on the day. It really does. I mean, there's days where it's just like, what? Dream life, I feel like I'm coming ahead. I'm really getting some segue on that.
Right.
But in 3D reality, I feel like it's like I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's like, I feel like it's like Groundhog's Day. Like it's just like another day of like happening over again. And, but yes, I feel like I'm, one step forward, two steps back kind of thing. It's coming along though. I'm learning a lot. That's really what it comes down to.
It is. As long as we can always see the positives in it.
Yes.
Even though we're drowning at
the
time.
Right.
Like, oh, no, this is good. I like drowning. This will teach me something.
Right. I know. Well, and then I'm like, well, I'm not really drowning. I got all this support. So I'm like, we got this.
We got it. Exactly. Yeah. It's just working through it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, have you had anything interesting happening to you over the last couple of weeks that was sort of different, notable?
Well, I have started having cold showers in the morning.
Right. Any particular reason?
It was something that James was doing, a colleague of mine, friend of mine, and he said that he was feeling lots of benefits from it, and he persuaded me it would be really good for my immune system and for my circulation and various other parts of my physical entity would benefit from it. So I thought I'd try it.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting process to do, first thing. Mm-hmm. And now, I definitely at the moment I'm not going to miss doing it because I'm feeling definitely the benefits of it. That last a good few hours into the morning I feel different. Something's different. Mm-hmm. Not quite sure what it is, but I feel slightly just that little bit edge, more alive and alert and not so drowsy and just kind of working my way into the day. I feel I've kind of arrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also been hearing about this guy Wim Hof.
Yeah.
Who's quite an extraordinary guy. I don't know if you guys come across him.
Yeah, I have.
I don't know who this is. What is it?
Oh, he's into cold therapy, big time.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a crazy Dutch
program.
Yeah, crazy Dutch guy who's into the benefit of the power of the breath and the various breathing exercises and how they can work with and help us kind of influence our consciousness, as it's a two-way street between our mind and our breath. Mm-hmm. And I can see that my mind definitely does affect my breath. Mm-hmm. What state my mind is in, there's subtle differences to my breathing patterns. So his take is that it's a two-way street, so you can affect your mind with your breath. Mm-hmm. So, and also he's really into cold.
Yeah.
And he sees the cold as a really powerful tool for all sorts of things, which I'm just kind of having a look at now. So yeah, that's been happening this week. I relate to what you were saying, Laurie, about Groundhog Day. I do have that feeling that I mean, the bizarreness and the extraordinariness of the energy around is just becoming the norm.
Yeah.
You know, it's not extraordinary anymore. It's just like this now. And it's, okay, so how am I with this? And what's it kind of informing me? And how can I work with it? And how can I stay sane with it? So that's been going on a bit this week. And other than that, no change.
Stuff goes well. Well, isn't this extraordinary in terms of synchronicity? Because I'd never heard of Wim Hof until probably a week ago, when a very dear friend of mine, hello Kath, who has shocking autoimmune disease issues and has had all her life and is really, really struggling. It tends to go into an acute phase and then a chronic phase. Both are pretty awful, but when it goes acute, it's almost, I just can't cope with this anymore. So she's brought the Wim Hof program and is doing the cold and the breath thing to see if she can bring the autoimmune response under control. So that's interesting, because I said I've never heard of him before a week ago, and now I've heard of him twice in a week. So that's extraordinary. I had a week of 10 days of absolute shocking dizzy spells, which coincided with the mass coronal ejections, the big solar flares that were pulsing out about 10 days ago. And I thought I'd picked up a little virus, but I had 2 days of almost not being able to stand up straight. And then 2 days of just felt fine. I thought, oh, it's cleared my system. Then it came back, then it went, then it came back. And I thought, oh, this isn't a virus. Viruses don't behave that way. This is something else. And then I read about the mega solar flares. And I thought, okay, so I'm finding that all a bit destabilizing. But fortunately, that seems to have settled now, and I'm back on solid ground, shall we say. But
I haven't seen it, but I've seen the Aurora Borealis that's been going on in Michigan. Do you guys get to see that out there?
Only the north of England, Scotland. Yeah. We wouldn't see it down here, sadly. Yeah. No. You need to be another 800
it was
miles
pretty
north.
Intense. I didn't get to see it, but I've seen pictures. But yeah, there were some great shows going on.
Yeah. I mean, this is really shifting energy of a massive scale. And I identify massively with what Ivan said about the surreal, the weird, the downright spooky is becoming the norm. And I had a lovely reading with Ivan on Sunday, and I will put on your Facebook, Ivan. Thank you so much. It was truly outstanding. And I'd opened up the chat with Ivan saying there's something odd going on, because every time I use this Divination of Ancients Oracle card set, the tarot card comes out. So 6 times I've used it up to the reading I had with Ivan, and 6 times I pulled the tarot card. And then yesterday, Ivan, you wouldn't believe it, I was sat with my friend Celia. Hi, Celia. And we pulled our cards as usual. I said, oh, Celia, because Celia actually brought that deck for me. And I said, oh, let's do this one. And as I was shuffling, a card literally exploded out of the pack. It just flipped. I hadn't even got it in my hand. It just went, pa-choom, landed face down. I picked it up. It was the tarot card again.
Oh my goodness.
That is 7 out of 7, which, you think, and Celia and I sort of just laughed. And then we said, so what, like you said, Ivan, what do we do with this? Are we required to do anything at all? And we decided the energy of the now is to actually just honor, accept, acknowledge, and be with it. And I don't think we have to overanalyze it. I don't think we have to make something of it and extrapolate it into an action. I think for me, I just feel I'm being asked to bear witness to it and to allow it to have its energy in my life, however it shows.
I think that's very much what the Justice card was saying to you, about how it's good when we can just see events as events, and not make them mean anything, or not always be looking for the meaning or trying to understand stuff. I mean, as they say, understanding is the booby prize. Because if we think we understand something, we're really lost.
Exactly.
That observer in us, the witness, when we can just see things and be kind of dispassionate, but just not race to make it, see what it means and give it meaning.
Yeah.
Because most of the problems that I encounter are about what I've made stuff mean. You know, things are just things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We make stories. We actually do make stories up, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we're not careful, we can perpetuate a theme, because we'll get the trigger and we'll go straight into that neural pathway, that habituated response to life, and that will say, well, that means that. Yeah. And when that means that, I do this because I've always done that. Mm-hmm. And it just reinforces it, and it's not always, it doesn't always serve us, I think. Mm-hmm. So just taking that breath, good old Vim, and then stepping back, and as you say, being, once you've thawed out, Ivan, what is just to observe it, isn't it? And Laurie, you won't know this, but tonight there's something big going on in our country, in England. Our parliament is basically fragmenting, and has been over us leaving Europe, what's called the thing, which I don't know if America's at all interested in it, but we're fairly.
Well, we hear the tidbits of it because we got our own stuff over here that's really loud.
Yes, you have got your loud stuff, haven't you? Yeah, indeed. So isn't it funny that all the big, I mean, everywhere you look, Venezuela, elections pretty much globally, there is some seismic upheaval going on, which is interesting if you can stay detached, and probably positively concerning if you get drawn in. But it's happening all over the world. Well,
I think even when you try to stay detached, the energy is so strong that it's like you get sucked in it anyways, even if you're just trying to be in the now and present. It's like, you know, that's what I say about with everything right now. I'm like, it's like knocking on my door. I try so hard to stay within the now and like in my own little bubble, you know, my house, and keep it my sanctuary. But it's like knocking at the door now. And I'm like, okay, what do you do now? Like,
So I keep reading stuff that, you know, how do we manage these energies? Because they are destabilizing. And the same things that keep coming up in all the things I read about being grounded, terribly important. And making ourselves the clearest vessel, the clearest channel of light that we possibly can. And it's funny, and I hadn't consciously put these two and two things together, but I'm starting an eating regime on Monday for 30 days, and it's called the Whole 30 program, and it's pretty much an exclusion diet. It's not dissimilar to the keto and the paleo diets, and I'm not dreading it. That would be such a pointless thing to do, but I see it as quite a challenge, because I want to be sugar-free for the first time in my entire life. And it will be.
But that would be such a freeing, because that's really what holds, you know, it's like the drug.
It is the drug, and I am addicted. So I've set myself this task. I'm doing it with a friend, Michael Bev. Hi, Bev. And we're accountability partners to each other. And please God, I can eat fruit, because otherwise I think I will just have to, I don't know, eat furniture. But but I felt such a strong urge to be clean. To be absolutely clean, because I know when I eat stuff like dairy and sugar, I feel clogged up. So maybe part of our survival strategy is to hold our integrity of body, mind, and spirit. And it's interesting, Ivan, that you feel compelled to get your breath in a state of expansion, to do the cold treatment, to be revitalized, awakened, present. You know, it's amazing that we're doing these quite radical things, perhaps consciously knowing what stimulated us to do it, but knowing we need to now. We absolutely need to do this.
Yeah, I think for a long time I got kind of seduced into thinking that all the work I had, you know, what I really needed to do was to do with my mind and my spirit and my energy body, and to a large extent I kind of forgot about my physical body. Well, that's all coarse matter stuff, you know. The real energy is what's important. And but of course, you know, that's crazy. You know, our bodies are our hosts. And so now having a bit more love, care, respect, and commitment to partnership with my body.
And it's funny, because things don't feel quite as comfortable. For me, I'm feeling that the stuff that I've I've perpetuated that, you know, through the addictions, the sugar and stuff, it just doesn't seem to bring the joy that it did before. You know, it's almost like I'm so much more aware of the stuff that is a toxin, a poison in my body.
And it's almost like you can feel it after the fact. Or like you feel that more than you feel the enjoyment of it.
Exactly. It's robbed before you even stick it in your mouth. You know, you're acting as if. Yeah. And it's funny, it's almost like the universe is saying, well, if you take that commitment, if you make that big step forward, we will help you, because we'll make sure that if ever you falter, you're going to be so aware of it. You know, you won't be able to pretend it doesn't suit you. You won't be able to sort of lie to yourself and say, oh, I love it, it's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine at all. So it's like we're getting that instant feedback.
Right.
That, you know, this is appropriate for us, this is inappropriate. I'm not going to say it's right and wrong, it's just what suits and what doesn't suit.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think that goes along with the energy of the growth. It's like we're just evolving, and it's like that's that fork in the road again of like, all right, well, this, I feel better going this way than I did going that way. So go that way for a while.
Yeah. And it's okay if we take the other way, just as to put our foot back in the water and feel what it feels like. But
well, we are human, you know, we gotta
exactly. Exactly. But we don't need to berate ourselves, and I think we won't spend much I don't think we'll spend too long there. I think that's the difference. Instead of sort of, you know, immersing ourselves in the stuff that poisons us and we pretend it's okay and we're on top of it, I just don't think we'll want to be in that energy for very long at all. I hope, God, I hope. And I start craving chocolate.
Well, and then like with everything that's going on and all the changes, just, you know, like you said, even with where you're at in like Venezuela, and so it's like because of that too, it's changing. You can feel that just tension moving. Yeah. So movement's about to happen. I don't know where it's gonna go, but it's going. So what's going on there? You didn't finish saying what was going on there.
Well, we're trying to honour a very small percentage of the population, the majority of the population, by only about 2%, that voted to leave Europe and the European Union, which we've been bound to for a number of years. But it's a farce. It's an absolute farce. So our political system is basically broken down in disorder and chaos. And we're seeing scenes in our parliament and actions being taken that we've never seen before. But this is all to do with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. And for you in America, Laurie, last time this conjunction happened was something like Martin Luther and the Protestant Revolution.
And I think it was like part of the Depression too. There was something else. There was some alignment.
So you're in for a massive sort of series of seismic events, which I think we can sort of guess looking at who's in charge, nominally.
I mean, and that, hey, Ivan, I have a question. Have you seen that in like cards that you lay out for a lot of people as more like changes and like even as in a global aspect all the way down to individual, like all the changes that are happening?
Sorry, what's the question, Laurie? Have I seen?
So have you seen with when you're doing people's readings, like seeing that chaotic kind of energy come into people's readings? Like, because sometimes I feel when doing tarot card, you get a lot of layout that's kind of explaining what's going on in the stars as well.
Well, I think a lot of people are having readings because they're feeling very chaotic.
Yeah, that's
It opens any other windows and how they can view what's going on. But it's more just looking at what energies they're attracting, what's going on with them energetically, and although that that you could extrapolate that into a more galactic kind of sense, I haven't done that. I'm just looking really at how it's impacting on them in their lives, and any patterns that kind of keep recurring. And so I haven't been able to make it too astrological, although I wish I could really.
Well, I always find just like not even going at it and looking at it as an astrological way, but doing a reading and then even for yourself, and then all of a sudden you like go to see what's going on astrologically, and then read what's going on. Then you're like, oh, those really go hand in hand, like what you just read, and then the energies that are happening.
Yeah, I mean, you know, ultimately everything's in the field going on. Everything is connected,
right?
And I guess I just want to keep the readings, the orientation of them, or the context of them, very practical for people. As to, okay, so what's this showing you? What do you feel you could do to move forward in a way that kind of where you want to go? And so I haven't been kind of taking it outside of that. Also because my own astrological knowledge isn't sufficient to, I mean, I know the connections between some of the cards and their astrological symbology, but I'm not confident enough to read it all up at the time.
Yeah. Have you got
yeah, go on.
I was going to say, before you go, because I know I'm keeping an eye on the time, and I with these perfect glasses on, I think it says 24. I'm having to do that bit by braille. This week, and they're not coming off. I've missed them so much. Ivan, would you be comfortable to just select a card for us before you go? Is that something you'd like to do, or would you rather not?
No, of course.
Because I love the fact, Laurie, when Ivan was with us the first time, he pulled the Justice card, and that had come up in my reading back November last. It also came up again on Sunday. So, and that's and in my context, about weighing the truth in your heart and standing in your integrity, which feels like a really, really strong and positive theme for where I am at the moment, especially with this diet program and other stuff going on. So yeah, it was interesting how that's come up 3 times.
That really is.
Yeah. So,
right.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. I'm not taking my glasses off.
Okay. So that's the Falling Tower.
Oh,
that's kind of what it feels like right now.
That's it. That's it.
Right.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah. You know that. You know, you talked about the tarot card jumping out of the pack when you're shuffling it. The last reading, I did a reading yesterday online, and that card jumped out.
Did it?
And it's one of those, you know, there are 3 kind of more kind of impactful cards that, you know, they look more dramatic. You know? And the Falling Tower is one of those. But you know, the essence of it is that you know, we build towers all of our lives and we live in them, and then at some point they crash down. We build another one and go back to it. But they only crash down if they're not built on good foundations. So, you know, really, it's if something needs to come to an end, then let's welcome that, you know, and not just keep trying to patch it up and make it okay. So it's welcoming that as another positive event. So what in our lives isn't really supporting us and for our greater good, but that we keep doing it, we keep being in that tower, and maybe, you know, time to let it fall. I think that's one of the reasons I was doing the cold showers, was, you know, I wanted to break some of my patterns, you know, like how am I behaving when I wake up in the morning, you know, because that was the Groundhog Day bit that I was feeling. It's the same old. I keep doing the same things, you know. And all the neurologists say, you know, out of the 95,000 thought impulses we have a day, 94,000 are the same ones we had yesterday.
Isn't that amazing to think?
New neurology, which can then create new behaviour and new thoughts and emotions, is, you know, feels. But without me being too prescriptive, you know, I want to try and stay sensitive to what my intuition tells me, not just what my mind tells me. But as far as the falling tower is concerned, let it fall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we can build new great ones that are really fit for purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And that mirrors exactly a card that Celia and I pulled yesterday, which was the complete same message. And I've just read Lorna Bevan Hair in the Moon astrology newsletter, which I rate her very highly. I'll send you a link, Laurie, if I haven't tried. In fact, I keep putting her posts on our IGC of 3 Facebook page.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out then.
And she's saying exactly the same thing. Let it fall, because the sooner we let go and surrender, the sooner we can start rebuilding from a different place of transformation and expansion and truth and integrity and transparency and all the things that we're being asked to be and do. So that's perfect, Ivan. That's just totally in tune with what we've been saying and feeling.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, my darling. So we're going to wave goodbye to you.
Love you, sweet Laurie. See you again, yeah?
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
Good evening. Much love. Bye. Bye. Yay, fantastic. Well,
that was amazing, because the tarot, I knew that was what I was going to pull, because there's just so much of that going on right now.
Yep. Well, I did the Work the Light cards yesterday, and the equivalent one came out, which was the Crumbling. And that came out yesterday, which is the same as the tower falling down. So I
never think of the tarot, the tower as a bad card. I mean, I always think it's change, but it's because it doesn't work for you anymore anyways. So it's like, jump, let it fall, and just get away from it. Just let it do its thing.
Absolutely. And I had the Hangman as my first card out on my reading with Ivan on Sunday. And in the context of the questions that I'd asked, it was basically make a commitment. He's asking for you to make a commitment. Stop hanging around. And sort of, one hand or one leg holding on one, leg hanging down.
Right.
He could easily extricate himself from the tree. Stop messing about and just commit to a course of action and follow it through, with real integrity. So I have got the Divination of the Ancients before we get cut off. Oh no, Laurie, I'm going to have to take my glasses off.
Oh, you're going to have to get your prescription put in those ones.
Oh, hello, it's you. I could hear your voice, love. I couldn't see your face. So would you like to say stop? Let's see what comes up for us.
Stop.
Lovely. Dowsing rods, the Seeker. Can you see that? So a lovely pair of wooden dowsing rods. Okay, let's see what that is. Oh, and I've just opened the book, and exactly that page. So
right on.
It's all happening.
It was meant to be.
The dowsing rods have sought you out to announce that your search is almost over. You have spent a long time looking in the wrong places. Now is the moment to sense through your heart, using the natural elements as your guide. Doing so will point you in the right direction. Walk your path of destiny, aware of the signs in the flow of water beneath your feet, in the depths of the earth. Create no attachments to the paths of others, for they may lead you to far more barren lands. You seek your path and they seek theirs. Nature will guide you, so get out in it and seek out the watering holes, the streams and rivers, and find what you need in their reflections. And the incantation is, I seek it here, I seek it well, but still I ask, where doth it dwell? Oh, but another 10 minutes. The answer I find is flowing within and all around me. The streams and lakes manifest all I can be. Seek and you will find. Don't give up, you're almost there. Time to step into your destiny. A lost item will soon be found. And you found the information you've been looking for. Reconciliation and reunion bring great joy. How does that sound?
That sounds fabulous.
That does sound pretty good, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's interesting too, because I've been having that urge, because now it's spring, it's finally become spring.
Yeah.
Get outside. And it's, I got to change my pattern of thinking and stop saying, oh, I'll come up with other excuses and just do it. Just go outside.
Is all your snow gone now?
It is all gone. I had little crocuses coming out in my garden. I just seen them yesterday, so that's the first.
Bless.
Sun's been out 3 days straight. It's like,
wow.
That's like rare.
Yep. My gosh. Well, yeah, you do then get out with the water. Have you got any water? Are you near the lake?
I'm not near, I'm near a little lake, more of an inland lake, and lots of streams. So I can always find, a stream to walk by. Yeah. So yeah, how about you? Are you by a lake?
I'm near a canal. So I have a short 10-minute walk down to a very lovely picturesque canal, which I take the dog to every evening, and the sun sets in the west as I'm walking along, so it's very beautiful. And there's a little stream by the walk on the race course that I take the dog most mornings, and a little stream also by Kenilworth Castle where I walk. So yes, I've got a lot of water around here.
Nice.
There's a big canal system. There's a really big river, the River Avon. Actually, it's very. We're in a small town, Warwick, and pretty much surrounded by countryside. Mm-hmm. It is rural, and it's just very. It's very green and very nurturing. So
sounds like blessed. Paradise.
Yeah, I do feel very blessed to be here. Yes. So I've got Work Your Light. So I think this will have this for us both as well, and Ivan and all of our soul sisters and brothers that are joining us. So lovely to have your company again.
It's so good to be back and to be in this, doing it again. And
I know. I felt so awful, and yet I really missed our connection.
I know, right?
Oh, it was, I'm so happy. I've been skipping all day at the prospect of this. So this came out. Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So that's rather beautiful. Oh, I've got a real chi surge going down my legs. So that's quite a powerful card. And every time I open this book, I think of our beloved Lani, thinking,
I know,
where the hell's that card gone?
We gotta get her on here. Like,
God love her. I know. We're going to say hello to her regardless of where she is, and hoping she's doing really brilliantly. I'm sure.
Yes, I hope so too.
102. Okay. So protection. You are being called to protect your energy and call back your power. May all the lost pieces return home now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each night. Point to self, I keep forgetting. Energetic cords are formed between people, places, objects, and events. So it's important to keep checking in. Your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. As we go through life, we can give away our power. So it is important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords or doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you are being called to call back your power from? Check into your body now and see which chakra feels like it needs a bit of an energetic cleanup. And then holding the card on the chakra or the chakras that we feel are requiring assistance and clearing, we say, I call back any lost soul fragments, power or light now. Any vows, soul contracts, hexes or programs from the past or present, from this life or others, that are not in the highest good of all, I relinquish now. Any power or light that I have willingly or unwillingly given away or had taken from me, I call back now. Any cords or attachments from this life or others, I release now for the highest good of all. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
I like that really a lot in my throat chakra and all the way up in my jaws even. Like,
and I'm feeling it in the upper heart, the higher heart. So does that help you in terms of the stuff that's going on with you, this sort of everyday, the onslaught?
Yeah, speaking my truth. I guess that's really what it comes down to. A lot of it is just finding a way to speak my truth, you know?
Yeah.
It's really what it is.
I know. And you know, we recoil from it because we know there's a consequence.
Yes.
But I think it's an old pattern that says we have to be fearful of the consequence, because actually, if we stand in our integrity and we say it with compassion and we don't compromise on that truth, we allow everybody else to let go of all the stuff they're hanging on to as well.
Yeah.
If we stand in a misalignment, we're holding everybody else in a misalignment. So when we break free of it, we release everybody else from that contract that says, well, we're still going to act out in this way because she asked us to do this, you know, before we incarnated.
Right.
And we're acting out in this way because she wants us to, so that reminds her that she can step into her mastery and let go of all this stuff. And then when we step into our mastery, they go, thank the hell for that. I get on with
right. You're like, that one was a hard test.
That was a
hard test.
Yeah.
And then, but that's the thing, though. You think you do it, and you're on your path, you're doing it. And then all of a sudden, it's like there's that one step higher. You're like onto the next like level. And you're like, oh.
I know. But I think it's big stuff because I think we've done our tinkering at the edges, which is something else that came up in Lorna Bevan's report. We can't tinker around the edges anymore. This is profound transformational change. So I think what is reflected in that is, as our layers are peeled away, we've done the easy stuff, we've done the tinkering. Now it's this really big, profound stuff. And that feels big, doesn't it?
It does feel big, but then but that's the thing though too, is not letting fear take over because it's so big, because it's really your power you're stepping into. But if we were never taught to be powerful beings, you know, so it's
or we were told that we couldn't be because it was inappropriate. Who do you think you are? You know, you and all your airs and graces, you and all your this and the other that. So we become, you know, shrinking violets.
Yes.
And we I think we devalidate ourselves by ourselves most of the time.
I think we're the worst ones to do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We're having that internal conversation that says, well, you know, who do you think you are?
Right.
Why should your voice count more than anybody else's? You know, you're just being selfish, and that whole thing that goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and then just
and then it just goes on.
And that's when you're just like, shut up.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't
so here we are. Do you have your energy maintenance morning and night? Is that something that you are really
I do. And actually I like the cold shower thing. And you know, when I go on vacation and stuff, whenever there's water nearby, that's the first thing I love to do is get up and go jump in the water.
Yeah.
And that's what it reminded me of, because it's cold and it's refreshing, and it wakes you up without needing that coffee or like that extra. It's like soul awakening in a way.
Well, it's a natural.
So I have to do that. You know, start doing that in the morning.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Yeah. Bless it.
But
it's radical.
But going to sleep at nights, just kind of go down and, you know, thank my body for what it did for me today, and then, you know, go in through the spirit. But it's just trying to stay grounded. It's really,
I think that's it. And take every day just one foot in front of the other. We just inch our way toward our ever increasing authenticity, integrity, and our power. That's all we can do. And know we're supported.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. So we're going to get cut off any minute now. So quick. So we're going to say goodbye.